All right, now we are very lucky. We are joined by a Central Pacific Hurricane Center forecaster with us at this hour. This morning, we are welcoming in Chevy Chevalier, who has the latest on Douglas. And the 2 a.m. intermediate update did just recently come out, so he has the latest numbers and what we can expect. Good morning, Chevy.
Good morning. How you doing?
Doing all right, considering the circumstances. Of course, very busy for us and, of course, for you as well. So tell us, what's the latest on the system? What are we looking at with Douglas right now?
Well, not much difference. You know, we haven't had much difference all night, right? We're now doing, you know, the closer the storm gets to us, we start doing more updates. So now we're doing, just to let you know how that works, we do, every 3 hours we do an update. So at 5 and 11 a.m. and 5 and 11 p.m., that gets more information. You're getting a lot more information with those updates. And then in between there, at 2 a.m. and 8 a.m. and 2 p.m. and 8 p.m., we do intermediate updates. So we're getting updates, and we have the hurricane hunters out there flying through the storm all night. Kudos to them. My hat's off to them because they do a lot of work for us. And it's just so much more accurate on information, right? Because you're actually in the storm measuring, you know, the pressure and the wind speeds and everything that's important to the storm. And they kind of just keep doing a crisscross pattern right through the storm to get us these updates. So they're going to be, before I forget, they're going to be with us until early Sunday morning. So we're going to have them, that'll probably be their last run, maybe 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning on Sunday. So we'll have them throughout the storm here.
And when did they do their first flight?
That's a good question. I don't know. I wasn't working that day. The first flight. You know when they did the first flight? Yeah. Sorry, I don't know. I think it was like maybe 48 hours ago. I'm not sure. But and also that reminds me, you know, in Lihue and Hilo, we launch weather balloons, right? So we do it twice a day, 1 p.m. and 1 a.m. But you know, we increased that. So now we're getting 4 a day. More information, better the forecast, the models are. So everybody's chipping in, big team effort, and we're getting the information for you all. So it was at 80 knots for the wind speed. So we're still talking about a Category 1 hurricane. And I think you mentioned it earlier. We expected this the weekend as it approached the islands. And we still do expect it the weekend. And, you know, what are the two factors that really play into hurricane intensity, you know, strength? And it's wind shear and it's, you know, the temperature of the water, the sea surface temperatures. So where are we with that? We are getting some wind shear. Actually, I think on the, I want to say on the 11 o'clock run, we noticed some tilting in the storm. So, you know, the shear is working on that, you know, working on disabling this, you know, the storm. So the problem is, you know, warmer water. So, you know, we're getting one, but we're not really getting the other. And that's probably why we're kind of staying even keel as we go through here. You know, we've had the same wind speeds. We've had kind of the same intensity. And it's staying a Category 1 hurricane. And Kelly, I think you said earlier, hey, let's not really focus on Category 1 hurricane and tropical storm. Because a lot of people are like, wow, okay, it's a tropical storm. Now I don't have to worry. That's not the case because you're talking about a couple miles per hour in the wind, and that's the difference between Category 1 and a tropical storm, right?
Right. And when we are talking about those wind speeds, and again, with the latest forecast, now we're looking at sustained winds of about 80 miles an hour as this is reaching us here on Oahu, and we're close to Kauai County. It's about the mid-70s now. When we're talking wind speeds that fast, and when we're seeing the forecast gusts up to 90 miles an hour or even stronger than that, what exactly does that look like? Because we hear these numbers, but I don't think a lot of people realize how destructive these winds can be.
Yeah, I mean, we intensity of hurricanes, it goes up to 5. And, you know, a Category 1 is a strong storm. You're mentioning 90-mile-per-hour winds. This isn't hold on to your hat kind of stuff. This is, you know, hold on to your dog. I mean, these winds can really pick up some heavy stuff and move it around. So this is tie down all your stuff and make sure you're protected your property because, you know, people put plywood up on their windows because this is strong enough to, move a lot of stuff and break windows and actually not quite destroy homes. You're probably talking about maybe a major hurricane for that. And Category 5, just to kind of put it in perspective, you're talking about leveling houses. Okay, just everything's flat. So Category 1, yeah, can pick up a lot of stuff, move it around, and high-profile vehicles on the road. That gets dangerous. Just anything that is light is going to be moved around. Potentially dangerous. I mean, can you imagine something like a piece of plywood flying around and hitting someone? So this is stay in your house and be sheltered when this comes through. The good news is, the good news is we still expect it to weaken. But it's a gradual, slow process, and we don't really expect it to be a tropical storm until it kind of gets past Kauai. And the other day we were saying, hurricane Category 1 and tropical storm by the time it gets here. And whether it makes landfall or not, I know a lot of people focus on that. Looking at the numbers, we've had since 1940 when they really started, had satellite, and we can really start tracking hurricanes, tropical cyclones. We've only had 10 that made landfall in Hawaii, okay? So wow. It's a very rare, and in July we have never had a hurricane make landfall. But I don't really like to focus on landfall, okay? I mean, whether or not it makes landfall is not a big deal. To me, it isn't. If it just brushes by and the ice stays, over the water, you're still talking about destructive power. So, and then you got to worry about the mountains and funneling effects and all of that, because the topography here in Hawaii is responsible for a lot of our weather, flooding, and people think that Mauna Kea and Mauna Loa can steer these hurricanes away from the islands. I don't like to say that. It definitely can have an impact. It can eat into a hurricane and disrupt it for sure. But as far as steering it, you're talking. Imagine the amount of energy you'd have to steer a hurricane. So you're talking about the Northeast Pacific High. That's really the steering mechanism here.
Right. And can we talk a little bit about that? Can we talk about what is controlling the hurricane itself? Because we've actually been seeing a pretty consistent forecast with this system. The forecast models have been doing a pretty good job with it for over a week now. When I first saw this forming off of the coast of Mexico, it showed the system heading towards us. And of course, as we've gotten closer, the forecast models have come into better agreement and we're getting a better idea. But what has changed or hasn't changed that we're seeing that continuing on the westward track and continuing on its march towards the islands?
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Everything you just said there. I was in working, I don't know what day it was, maybe Tuesday. I mean, that's far out. You're talking almost a week out, and I'm looking at, I'm talking to one of the tropical cyclone forecasters, and I noticed, you just noticed how narrow the cone of uncertainty is that far out, as you were saying. And you're exactly right. The models were in agreement. And we're not talking about 2 or 3 models here. We're talking about, I don't know if you've seen those spaghetti, I know you have, but people have seen spaghetti charts, and we talked, we could see dozens of models,
I have the spaghetti plot up right now. So folks are looking at it as you're talking about it right now.
Oh, okay. So, yeah, so you see how many models we can actually look at. And sometimes you'll see a stray one, or what we call an outlier, that's not really agreeing with things. But and the one thing that the forecaster said, I said, man, that's really good agreement. He said, fantastic agreement. And that's what we like to see. Agreement on the models. What does that mean? Okay, so you got, let's say 2 models, and they're forecasting a pretty similar track, or, dead on similar track. We like to see that, because that means they're in agreement, and one's not going north and the other one going south. They're all going in the same direction, and the cone of uncertainty really isn't that wide, So when you talk about steering mechanisms, we're talking about, the Northeast Pacific High. So you got this high that's, there most of the year, and it's spinning around clockwise, as we all know. That's where we get our trade winds. And that's primarily the steering mechanism for this. One thing I did notice, I was looking at the models here, and that's what's behind me, a couple of models here. And it looks as if this is going to go skirt up the windward side of the island, and then kind of do like a little quirky left hook around Kauai. I don't know if that's going to play out, but both models did it. So, you know, in agreement, as we were talking about. So, you know, if that happens, that might keep Kauai in the rain and winds just a little bit longer.
The models you're talking about, it hooked to the left then, towards the island?
Yeah, it looks like it goes. It just does a little left turn there, and kind of goes around the north shore, you know, of Kauai. It's a little weird, but you know, if one model did it, I wouldn't even, you know, think about it any further. But they both kind of seem to do it.
Right.
Not a big deal, but just something that we may look at and say, okay, Kauai might deal with the rain for a little bit longer. But it does look as if, and you can see that with our the cone of uncertainty and how we're forecasting this. It does look like it's going to be a hurricane until, of course, just when it gets north of Kauai. Northwest of Kauai, then it should downgrade to a tropical storm.
And let's talk about that, because for the past couple of days, for the track, we have been expecting it to weaken down to a tropical storm up until just the 11 o'clock update last night, when that was the first time that we did see that shift. Why did we see that shift? Is it because we're getting more data now that, of course, we have the hurricane hunters out there that are bringing in more data? Granted, obviously, as we were talking all week long, the difference between that low-grade Cat 1 and the very strong tropical storm weren't very different. But why did we see that shift last night?
That's a very good question. And, you know, I will say that sometimes we just don't know, you know, we just don't, it's something small usually, you know, but if you're talking about, you know, why, the timing of all that and why did it change, I think you're pretty right about what you said. You know, we're getting a lot more information, okay? So when this thing was, you know, 1,200 miles to the east of the Hawaiian Islands, what information were we getting? You know, we're getting satellite information, we're getting, you know, some surface, you know, information, and we're using the models basically, right? And what do they use for information? Well, they use the balloons. You know, you get balloons from the Hui and Hilo. That's where we send them up, Weather Service. We have offices there that, as I mentioned earlier, send them up twice a day, and now 4 times a day. So I'm pretty sure they were doing it twice a day when it was that far out. I mean, because if you start doing it 4 times a day, then when it's 1,200 miles away, it's probably not going to put that much more useful information into the system. So what happens is the balloon gets launched, and the thing about Hawaii is we're so far out here in the middle of the Pacific. We have 2 balloon launching places, and we put them far apart, you know, up in Kauai and then down in Hilo. But that's all we have. Now there are some other balloons, like maybe a ship, a Navy ship or something, is sending up information, or you're getting some, you know, you get some observations actually from ships. And that we grab everything we can and feed it into the model, right? So, and we want it to be good data, because that's that garbage in, garbage out, you know, thing that you say. So we want it to be really good information. And on the mainland, you know, if you look at the balloon launching locations, they're everywhere, right? Maybe a little more sparse out in the western part of the country, but, you know, a lot of people don't live out there. So we get all this information from the balloons, and the balloon goes from the surface, and everyone, I forget how many we actually have. I think it's like 90-some locations. Everyone in the Weather Service launches the balloon at the exact same time.
Right.
1 p.m. our time, 1 a.m. our time. So they all go up in there. It's all going to be good timing, right? So the balloon launches from the ground, and it starts collecting data right away. Okay? So it's a little box, and it collects, you know, humidity and pressure and wind speed, the way it moves as it's going up, and a lot more information, right? And it goes up, you know, a long way. You can see the curvature of the Earth. They put a camera on one time. So you get all that information all the way up, and you can watch it on the computer. It's just, you know, chunking in information because the little dish is following it up. So all these across the country. Now, the problem with Hawaii is we only have 2 balloon locations. So we have a lot less data out here because we're in the middle of the ocean. You know, it happens on the West Coast, because I had a job where I was forecasting near the West Coast, and I'm like, oh, the first thing you think of is everything is moving from west to east, right? So in the Pacific, you don't have a lot of information pushing that way, right. So it's sparse. And we're way out here in the middle. So, but I will say this: it's surprisingly accurate for only having a couple of balloon locations. And you know, we also get we have thermometers all over the islands, and you know, humidity, and at the airports we have all these sensors. That all feeds in there too. But the problem out here is it's a little sparse. But back to what we were talking about, you know, I think you were right. We were talking about how, you know, we thought it would go to a tropical storm status a little bit sooner, a lot sooner than now. I think we were thinking maybe yesterday or last night, well, you know, last evening. So, yeah, I think you're right. I think you're getting all this information. You're getting 4 balloon launches from these 2 locations, Lahuli and Hilo, and you're getting the hurricane hunters, and that is a huge deal, right, Kelly? You know about this, because you get them flying in, and you get actual data, what we call in situ data. So it's you know, it's like putting a thermometer right in there and getting it, instead of, you know, just a couple balloon launches.
Exactly. And from that, again, we've learned that the system really hasn't weakened much overnight. The sustained winds still 90 miles an hour and still a Cat 1 strength. And again, forecast to maintain that Cat 1 strength throughout the time that it passes either very near to or directly over the island chain. All right, now, Chevy, for the latest forecast track, it does look like it's nudged a little bit further to the north, with even Maui and Lanai no longer under that cone of uncertainty. Granted, it hasn't budged much. It's, again, a little jump to the north. Have any of the hazards or impacts changed? What are we expecting in terms of the strong winds, the heavy rainfall, and the surf?
Yeah, another great question, because, you know, just a couple of days ago, even 24 hours ago, we kind of thought that the Big Island in Maui County was going to get, you know, be affected, right, at least, you know, more than we think now. So a little bit of a nudge to the north. Actually, overnight we had a little bit of a nudge to the south, but it was very minor. But so you get a little nudge here or there makes a big difference, right? Because it didn't go that far north, as you were saying, Kelly, and it I don't want to say it cleared the Big Island, okay? Or I heard somebody say, you know, the Big Island's out of the woods. Don't say that, okay? Because, I mean, if you look at the size of this thing, and if it's, you know, if it's just 70 miles, even 100 miles off the coast, the Hamakua coast, then you're still seeing a lot of impact. You know, you're still seeing rain, and especially with, you know, the mountains there, you get that orographic lifting. So you're also seeing the winds. Not quite as strong. That's the good news. I mean, the closer you get to the center of a hurricane, of course, the stronger the wind, and maybe not dealing with it that much on the Big Island in Maui County. Now, I will say the Big Island looks as if it's better than Maui County, because Maui County looks, it could possibly affect them a little more because it's brushing by Maui closer than it is for the Big Island. And you know what? I think I lived on the Big Island for a couple of years in Hilo, and went to Rizal, and you know, of course, how about rain? You know, all that rain that dumped on the Big Island. I think they deserve a break from tropical cyclones, maybe for a couple of years. Remember that 55 inches of rain at one location? That's crazy.
And at the same time, I know a lot of folks around the islands, they always say, well, Big Island usually protects us, right? The big mountains help to break up the storm, and we're not going to be seeing that. So yes, Big Island getting a break, but then that's a little bit worse than, of course, for the smaller islands now. All right, so when it comes to the impacts that we're going to be seeing, because when we talk tropical storm force winds and hurricane force winds, those extend well beyond the center of the storm. So I think a lot of folks, unfortunately, look at the forecast graph, right? The chart, the forecast path, and they think if that little icon isn't directly over them, then they're not going to be seeing the impacts. But that's not the case. How far out from this system are we seeing those tropical storm force winds extending? How far out are we seeing the heavy rain? So I think, you know, and as you mentioned, Big Island not out of the clear yet, because regardless, we'll still see an uptick in winds and we'll still see an uptick in rainfall, even on the current track, even if it doesn't shift. So how far out are we expecting those impacts to be?
Yeah, you know, we actually have a lot of good tools on the website. So on our front page of the website, you can see under hazards, it's got tropical cyclone on our Central Pacific Hurricane Center webpage, and we actually have maps that show how far out the tropical storm force winds are. And you're right. So a lot of people do think, well, the eye is 50 miles away from the coast, so I don't have to worry about it. That's absolutely not the case, because I mean, you're talking about 90-mile-per-hour sustained winds at the eye. And it depends on the storm, sometimes the wind speeds drop off rather quickly. You see small storms, disorganized storms, and that's what we're hoping is going to happen to this. And it actually has started happening. The shear's kind of taking some toll on it, made it tilted. So, if you have a round hurricane with the center, the eye, okay, so you got this eye, and think of it as like a column, and of empty space. You can see on YouTube, hurricane hunters can fly in there, and they fly in, and it's all bumpy, 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 and then when they hit the eye, like a big organized storm, and they hit the eye, it's sunny skies and very calm. So when the shear starts, impacting the tropical cyclone, and, it's just a difference in direction and maybe speed of wind. So basically, it's just shearing off certain parts of the hurricane and disrupting that, that counterclockwise flow. The hurricane likes just to be rotating nice and smooth, counterclockwise, but then you got some winds coming in at different directions, maybe up and down even, or at different speeds, and it starts disrupting that perfect little column, right? So what we noticed a couple passes ago, which would be 8 o'clock, I think it was 8 p.m., Tom noticed that there was a little bit of a tilt. So that's evidence that, and the hurricane hunters help us see that too. And that's valuable. I mean, you're getting eyes in the storm. That's very valuable stuff. And he noticed a little bit of a tilt out there, and that was evidence, proof that the shear is taking a little bit of toll on the storm. But not a whole lot. Gradual is the word. Slowly, decreasing in intensity. But back to your original question, don't be, deceived, especially with this is the biggest hurricane we've ever seen as far as, span across it. But it's a pretty large storm. So you're absolutely right that the eye, I don't like to think about the eye, unless we're talking about something like tilt and all that kind of stuff, which we deal with. But I don't like to think about, where is the eye, and focus just on the eye, the effects of this storm and a lot of other storms is going to go out a lot farther than just the center. And I said, you're talking about 90-per-hour sustained winds. Well, what does that mean? That means that the wind is blowing 90 miles per hour, pretty consistently, constantly. And then we always say, well, 90-mile-per-hour winds and 110-mile-per-hour gusts. Well, what does that mean? Well, that means the gusts aren't blowing constantly. They're kind of 110-mile-per-hour bursts. And sometimes, it's a dangerous burst. So let's not forget that we talk about sustained winds, and that's how we rate on the Saffir-Simpson scale. That's how we rate what category it is, or if it's a tropical storm or tropical depression. But that's not the gusts, and they can be a lot higher than what you're talking about with the sustained winds.
Right, and we're actually now going to be looking at the forecast impacts. We're looking at the amount of rainfall we're expecting, the amount of the strength of the consistent winds, and then I'll bring up the gusts in just a bit. Now, on the Central Pacific Hurricanes website, they have basically the peak wind forecast, and that's what we're looking at right now. So the peak wind forecast, would you say that's basically the forecast of what you believe is going to be seen?
That's a good way to frame that
Okay.
answer. That's what say that again.
Sorry, because there's also then because you guys forecast the peak wind forecast, but then there's also the potential wind forecast. So for the potential, right now I'm looking at specifically Honolulu, Kapolei, Ewa Beach, Hawaii Kai. We're looking at peak winds of 45 to 55 with gusts to 80, but a potential for winds 74 to 110. So those are some big numbers. And again, we are under a hurricane warning, so there's a potential we could see those, but the peak wind forecast is more likely. Is that safe to say?
Yeah, I guess so. I would say, you know what I would say about that? And you got it all explained very well. That's what we're talking about, you know, peak and gust and sustained and all that. You know what I would do? I would look at the highest wind speed that we are forecasting for your area and assume that's what you're going to get.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Just assume, that you're going to get the highest wind speed, and you're safer. You know, if you say, well, the sustained winds are only 50, you're not thinking about the peak winds or the gusts, and that's what you really got to think about, because that's what you're going to see.
And let's talk about the gusts, because those are impressive. Even for the peak wind forecast gusts we're now looking at, because the potential for when you have, of course, how strong it could be, and what I've seen in some forecast models, it's scary with some of those speeds looking over 100 miles an hour. But right now we have forecast, it looks like for Kauai, some areas saying 95-mile-an-hour gusts. Here on Oahu, Molokai, potentially up to 90. When you talk about hurricanes, it's typically the gusts that you can see a lot of those damages, right?
Yeah, I think that's safe to say. I mean, you got the sustained winds, which are blowing all the time, constantly, right? So let's say you have a house and you're getting 90-mile-per-hour sustained winds. Well, the sustained winds are kind of eating at your siding, or, you know, loose things, you know, the windows or gutters, whatever, on your house. But then you get a big gust of, 120 miles per hour. Well, that's just like just probably blowing out, a lot more than the sustained winds are. And then those sustained winds they're still there, you know? So it's you get that gust, boom, let's say it blows off a door, and then sustained winds just, eat at property and different things. I keep using property, there's a lot of other things, but yeah, that's kind of how it works. You've seen a lot of video, especially with Iniki from '92, where a roof blew off a house. So I mean, and I don't know. It's a video I see a lot when they refer to Iniki. The entire roof blew off the house. So and that totally could have been a big giant gust that did that. Maybe the sustained winds were eating away at the structure, and then boom, very strong. That was we all know that was a very strong storm. So gusts, you can never forget about the gusts.
Yeah.
And as I said, just assume whatever you see is the highest for your area. Just assume that's what you're going to get.
Definitely. And as we've been saying, we prepare for the worst, but of course we hope for the best, but always be prepared and assume that, yes, you are going to be seeing those really large numbers. Now, I know the exact video that you're talking about with Iniki. I think a lot of people have seen the video on either social media or on YouTube. With the wind speeds that are forecast right now, with the potential of the terrain interacting with the strong winds that we have, could we potentially see gusts like that, and could we potentially see damage to homes that severe?
Well, it's not only the winds. I mean, we don't have topography like they do in Kansas. Okay, this isn't just a big old flat area. We have the mountains. I mean, we have these huge mountains. Okay, 14,000 feet. That's pretty high. And we don't, not just one on the big island. There's another one. Okay, and then every other island has their mountains. So you got to think about that too, because you might have 100. Let's say you have. We keep saying, let's keep with it. 90-mile-per-hour sustained winds. Okay, those are the winds that are blowing all the time, and 110-mile-per-hour gusts. Okay, now if you live, there are a lot of people that have where they have a house, maybe down in the valley, and you got the mountains, and then you got the valley in between, and then what happens is you get what we call like a funneling effect. So the winds, the sustained winds of 90 miles per hour, are starting to funnel into a smaller area, and that just makes them faster and stronger. Okay, so sometimes we might say, okay, you got a 110 mile per hour gust, 90 mile per hour sustained winds, but the funneling effect in some areas is going to change the wind and make it even higher. So you do have to realize where you live. You have to know the topography and know how the topography affects the winds. And it does it in other ways, too. I mean, you can do it, talk about in town, okay? So you're in Honolulu and you got all these, skyscrapers, right? So you've noticed probably when you're walking in town where you're just going down the street and there's a couple big buildings in between, and you can feel some gusts that are pretty strong, and that's funneling, because all the winds are trying to blow where the buildings are, and they're trying to find a way to get through there. So more winds just get jammed into the vacant area, and it causes a really strong gust.
Definitely. And again, we could see those very damaging winds, the gusty conditions, and their forecast for the majority of the state. So I hope everyone was prepared for this. We've been warning you for quite some time now. Big Island and Maui County are going to start to see some of those major effects as early as this morning. And then Oahu, you have a little bit of time to prep. If you don't have everything put together, you're going to want to head out first thing in the morning. Kauai, you have a bit more time. The worst of the impacts coming through in the late overnight hours. But you guys, the system is coming. It's going to be coming dangerously close, and we are expecting some major impacts. Chevy Chevalier from the National Weather Service Central Pacific Hurricane Center, thank you so much for joining us. And we're actually going to be checking back up with you at about 5 a.m., right?
Yeah, let's do this again I mean, there probably are a lot of people up at 3:30, but I think a lot more people, especially with the storm in the area, probably going to be up at 5 a.m. So, a little after 5, maybe we can do this again for those folks and anybody else. I'll get some more information and a couple different beneficial things that we can talk about to help people out there.
Right. And at that time, or when we're going to be talking, maybe around 5:30, if not a little earlier, of course, we're going to be looking at the next full update, the full forecast from the Central Pacific Hurricane Center. Do you have any predictions for any changes we might expect?
I don't. We're a big team here, but it's one storm and one person, one forecaster on the storm. That's Tom today. He's back there just in the cubicle and working hard all night. So he's going to have, as you said, the 5 o'clock hours and the 11 o'clock hours that we do are bigger updates, a lot more information. So, and I think the hurricane hunters were out there overnight, and I think they may have finished for the night. I'm not sure. But right before I started talking to you, Kelly, they were still flying around out there getting us as much information as possible.
I love it. It's such a team effort. Of course, everyone working so hard at the Central Pacific Hurricane Center, the folks that are working hard to get the data, and then, of course, everyone that's working to get the public the data and all of the information that we need to know. So thank you so much for your service to us, the community. We really appreciate such a great partnership with you guys.
It's been great talking to you,
All right,
We'll talk again soon.
Talk to you in about an hour and a half. All right, thanks, Chevy.
I'll be ready.
All right, Ross, back over to you.